necessary. Any leadership that leadership is dependent upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. I have a dream. Satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. Who taught you, please? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Man, rap today fucking sucks bad. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. These fools ain't spitting no type of dope shit. But that's not even the bad part. They're not even saying words anymore. They just got a hard-ass fucking beat to trick dumbasses like you to make you think you like the shit.
Only our unity can provide us with anything like adequate protection.
Because you can't heat the roots of a tree and not heat the tree. You can't heat your origin and not end up hating yourself. You can't hate Africa and not hate yourself.
Faith, religion, brainwashing, the ailments mankind could never cure.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships, because they knew death was better than bondage.
You can't move. You can't move. Why can't I move?
You're paralyzed. Just like that day when you did nothing. You did nothing. Sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
You're not niggas.
Hello, welcome to Young King Truth Tell. This is Kanye Tetsubo. Today, I'll be sharing my thoughts on coronavirus and the surrounding controversies with it. Now, one controversy I like to bring up is the fact that when they said black people cannot get the coronavirus because of our melanin. And honestly, it's kind of funny. I don't think no one has possibly realized it, or many people have realized it, but not many people are talking about it, is as soon as they said black people cannot get coronavirus, you see a bunch of different black celebrities popping up talking about they got the coronavirus, and then you start seeing videos of these everyday average people talking about they got the coronavirus. But then, just like how fast they popped up is how fast they dropped off. You don't see these people making update videos or hear about these celebrities making update videos about having the coronavirus at all. Which is kind of funny about that, because some people did have the idea and theory that people like these everyday people and some celebrities are actually being paid off to say that they have the virus. And speculation that might be true. So don't take that with a grain of salt, and still, in a way, protect yourself just in case, because you never know. Thus far, honestly, I have not personally seen anyone from my Facebook talking about they have the coronavirus. Mostly jokes about having the coronavirus, where you have someone saying, "Oh, I feel sick today," or something, but that's about it. And with that out of the way, let's get to the main topic. The main topic would be mostly about how it was out in 2019 in China, and then the Chinese did not dare mention it until months later. Which is the crazy part, because they said that they had Chinese doctors and whistleblowers actually trying to make it known that this virus was out there and that it could spread from person to person. But what mostly you heard about going on in China around that time was the Beijing incident. So it's kind of funny that we had a virus and a whole riot slash protests of Beijing going on at the same time, but only one was really covered. You would think, even within all of that protest slash riot, you would hear something about a virus, or at least a viral outbreak going on within China, because a lot of things that happen in China, a lot of us know about and hear about it as soon as possible, because that's how the media works, and that's how the media has been working even now with this virus here in America. The media has become a weapon of mass destruction against the minds and the masses, spreading fear and panic amongst everybody, telling them all these different things that they should and shouldn't do, what can and cannot help. And a lot of people rely on the news, and they know that. So why is it that nothing was heard about this virus until this year? Well, I got my own little theory to that, and more likely, if I'm right, like they're saying, many people think that the American government had created this virus and shipped it off to China to cause this whole viral outbreak, which, because they know that they're indebted to China. So one way you could do it is create an outbreak, aka create the problem, knowing that their Chinese government isn't going to really possibly say anything, and if they do say something, it's not going to be too much. There was a few points that I had left off that I would like to mention right now, that they are creating the problem in order to sell you the solution, and the solution would be vaccinations. They killed Dr. Sebi for having natural medicines and natural herbs that could cure you of anything, no matter what. And then they tell you that those same cures that he created were not real, that they were fake. And months later, they came out with this whole article saying that what he believed wasn't real, and that it was just him scamming his people. You even seen on Facebook, this guy had came out saying that he bought a Dr. Sebi product and that it messed him up, when in reality his product was tampered with. We don't have proof that it was tampered with, but we know that it was tampered with, because we know for a fact that Dr. Sebi has healed many people. Also, with the stimulus check, they're only giving you the check in the hopes that you spend it right away. If not spend it right away, spend it on buying the solution, aka the vaccination. Because you have to think about it, they just don't give money out for free to anyone at all. There's always a gimmick to it. This is the American government we're talking about. The home of the rich, the home of the not so free, and definitely the home of the rich, greedy, corrupted politicians. Because as long as the poor were dying, it was fine. But when the rich starts dying, oh, that's a problem right there. Remember Ebola? When it was just affecting black people, they didn't have no cure. But as soon as it started affecting white people, we magically have a cure for it. So again, just think about it, and this is just me editing in at the last minute. Thank you. Because you know people are going to talk no matter what. Their social media. Look at how much coverage of the riots that happened in Louisiana went on when they killed Mike Brown. We did not see no type of news media coverage of that on the actual news channels, but we did see it on people's Instagram pages. And a lot of these people in China and Japan, they all know about VPNs, aka virtual private networks, that they can actually post anything from a virtual private network that covers their asses. And what I mean by that is, with a virtual private network, aka VPN, I will say it again, you could pretty much make it seem like you're on the internet from halfway around the world while still in your natural born country or on your natural born continent. So it's like this. Say if I download a VPN today, I paid $5 for it. or however much they cost. I can use that VPN, turn on Netflix, and watch movies that are in China. Change it, and I can watch movies that's in Japan. Change it again, I can watch movies that's going on in Africa. Change it again, I can watch movies that's going on in Europe. All from the safety of my home. And I cannot be tracked, monitored, or anything. So if I could do that from home, just imagine what I could do with the internet at my beck and call. Just imagine if I go on Instagram, make it seem like I'm halfway around the world when I'm here. Or even make a whole new profile on the internet. Use a VPN. Well, use this VPN, then make a new profile, and act like I'm a different person, some unknown stranger. Steal a photo here or there. You won't know the difference. Or post pictures of nature, saying I took these photos when I really didn't. But you get what I mean. Become a whole new person. Become a whole new identity. And you could then spread the message of this virus and the viral outbreak. So if this virus was such a really big thing, and I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's fake either. It's just funny how it came about in a way, and I don't think no one's really thinking hard or long into it. And it's just fishy to me, because I know about VPNs, and that's the thing, they're always being like advertised to us in our everyday lives, and you don't even realize it. Go on YouTube and look at different I would say video game channels from like the early 2016 all the way till now. Even it'll be like every once in a while you'll see an ad that comes up on your screen about a VPN, and they telling you these different things that come with this VPN. We have those type of secure networks, and yet nothing was said about this virus outbreak. It's as if they knew that this virus outbreak had happened, and they wanted it to happen because they knew what it would do to the world. It's like the American government and the Chinese government are working together in this whole spread to get what they want in the end. The American government don't want to be in debt to China, because look at who the president of America is. And China hates America. So China would possibly not say anything because they know their enemies are watching and listening. And America is obviously not going to say anything. Some other countries possibly have an idea but have no evidence to prove, and neither do I. But hey, it's just a theory until everything comes out. And as they say, what's done in the dark will come to light. But another topic that I would like to mention is the fact that they are pretty much, I would say, I don't want to say lying about the deaths, but they are making it seem like there's this many deaths when there really isn't that many deaths. And what I mean by that is you gotta take into accountability all these many different factors. There are so many factors to take into accountability that you cannot always believe what the media is saying. And this is why the media is the most dangerous thing in America and on this planet, because they will have you fear mongering. They are fear mongers. They will pretty much make you fear and panic for no reason. They tell you 1,000 people died from the coronavirus. Now you have 2,000 people who are alive or so going out spending their money when they don't need to be spending their money, trying to protect themselves, because 1,000 people had died. Now here's the little trick to it. Out of that 1,000 people who died, let's say 100 of those people had previous medical conditions, such as a heart condition, and all this fear and stress finally gave way to their heart. They are counted onto this whole coronavirus death toll. Imagine someone with sickle cell, like my ex-fiance. Those people get stressed out. They have any type of medical condition that could appear at any point in time. And then they're added to the death toll, the numbers of victims to the coronavirus. Then you got to take into accountability of people who died from old age, like my grandfather. And then people like him are added to their so-called death toll of the coronavirus. See the issue there? There are so many people dying from non-coronavirus that are being tallied with people who are dying from the coronavirus because the numbers that they have are wrong. They're doing that to make you fear, and they're doing that on purpose. Not all these people that they're saying are dying from actual coronavirus. You have to really think hard and long into it and take into accountability of these people who are dying. How come when someone who supposedly dies from corona, you don't hear about them or see their face or know their name? But we know the names of people who died from shootings, but we know people who died of homicides and suicide bombings, etc., so on. We know those people's names and faces, their addresses, where they live, what they went to school with, who their family members were, who their colleagues in school were, who their colleagues at work are. We know all of that information, but all these people who's dying from corona, we don't know nothing about them. All these Jane and John Does. But this is just simple speculation. But again, I'm not saying that people aren't dying and that's fake. I'm just saying to think before you react. Think about everything that's being said and the way things are going. Because they didn't really have to say you're in martial law just to make it clear that you're in martial law. All they had to say was you're in quarantine. And guess what? You're locked down now. So when the so-called death toll number reaches a certain number, they will now bring in the military nationwide on your side. Because when you think about it, a lot of those other countries, the reason why they having more results with dealing with the virus is because they're not a capitalistic society that runs off of money. And yes, I'm saying America is a capitalistic, socialistic society that runs off of money. They are greedy. They will label workers as essential so they can still have their certain business practices. When you have places like Italy who not only shut the whole country down, and Africa who shut the whole country down, but guess what? They stopped them from paying bills. I know someone who lives in Italy, and right now she has free lights, free housing, just free everything, because they're not a greedy, self-mongering country. They're still racist, and yes, that's not going to stop them from being racist, because we've seen a video recently where they had a black man in Italy, and I believe this Italian woman told him that he must stay there and die. So yes, still racist country. Wish something could be done about them, but I think the virus is doing that for us. Still, they do not have to pay anything. They are living a life free at home for months now. America would never do that. They would never stop bills. They'll never stop rent. They'll never stop mortgages. They'll never stop student loans, etc., so on. They'll never stop water bills. You know what I mean. I'm just trying to make a point here. And the point is, America does not care about its people. America has never cared about its people, especially black people, which is why we have to do for ourselves. Also, let's bring up the fact that, let me go back to my first point that I brought up about how black people could not catch the coronavirus. I just remembered something. People in Africa, well, majority of the parts in Africa where it's mostly black, they caught the virus when you start thinking about it. And guess what? I think it was like a few days or a few weeks later, those people already have recovered from the virus. But it's in the areas where white people are at that they're having trouble. That sounds a little fishy, but hey, it's just a theory. It's just, again, speculation. Who knows? I don't know. And on top of it, you actually do see those people who did survive and recovered, their faces. You know their names. You just don't know all their information. You just know their faces and names. So it's kind of funny about that. And I had to bring that up because I just remembered that, honestly, just now. Because it was in more than one news article across social media, in which people would tell you don't believe everything that's on social media, which is true. You don't believe everything on social media, but at the same time, if you know someone who lives there and they can confirm it, then who are you more likely to believe? The media, social media, or the actual people that you know that lives there? Which I know a ton of people who live in Africa that I can confirm these stories with. And with that said, I'm out. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of The Uncanny Truth Teller with Kanye Titsbo. If you would like more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well follow us on Anchor at The Uncanny Truth Teller. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And with that being said, thank you for listening. Bye.